Hey guys, Chris, Ironhead Garage. Oh, back on this old GMC again. So, I did get the engine back out. Got her sitting on the ground. Working on these motor mounts. I got them all drilled. And I got this side bolted up. I've been using these flange head nuts. So you don't have to try to get a washer on the inside. And keep the washer on there and then try to get a nut on inside. These stay super tight and they stay in the socket when you go to put them up in there because they got that flange on there. These are the killer nut to use, but I got this side all drilled. So I got to get the nuts on this side. This side over here on the cross member, it's got this hole. It's got a hole back here that you can get a open end wrench in, or you got to go down from the bottom down there where the A-arm is through here. Pretty hard. This side has a little hole and no hole on the back, so you got to do them all from the inside there. What a pain. Bad design. They should have cut a slot in here so you can get an open end wrench. But I'll have to use my swivel, get that nut in the socket and try to feed it up in there. What a pain. Some of you guys have done these before. You know it's pretty tough to get them nuts on there. But you just get these pretty snug with your finger and then tighten them up and they grab real good and they'll tighten up. So I had my drive line in there. It all worked right back in the same spot. So that was cool. There's where I put that speed dent in there just to mock everything up. So on this side, it flares back a little bit. And this side just came out, you know, pretty square. That's why I smacked it in there. But I'm gonna end up cutting this out and putting a piece of metal in there. Try to make it look like that side. It's too bad I gotta scorch up my firewall. Got a bunch of undercoating on the inside that's probably going to try to catch fire, but I just have to watch out when I'm welding it. Can't leave that dent in there. It look like a hack. Don't want to be a hack. Do the best I can, but nice. I got the motor mounts in there. Got the heater burning. So I'm going to get that motor mount tightened up on there and work on that firewall probably. Figure out something. Alright guys. Alright, well, I got my shrinker stretcher out, my English wheel, and yeah. But I got this piece here. Those pieces there was left over from my my rear floor pan that I saved just for projects like this. So see that side there kind of goes in. There's that ugly old speed dent. So I think I'm going to try to cut this and make this fit in there. See what we can do. Get the old English wheel out and shrinker stretcher and the sandbag and everything. Yeah. Alright guys. Let's see what I can figure out with this. Anything's got to look better than that. Alright. Alright, well I got that recessed panel made. That piece of floor pan, it helped me out a little bit, but it's got a bunch of dollies, cutters, and even an old anvil. Who needs a shrinker stretcher or a plenishing hammer or English wheel? So I made that panel there. Just got to weld it all up and around there. It recesses in about probably 1.25 inches. Plenty. Here's the old one. I just beat this in to get that motor mocked up, but I would never leave it like this. Wouldn't want to be a hack job. A little better than that, but saved myself $300 for other parts instead of buying a drive line. If you can build it, build it. Save yourself some money. Alright guys, we'll get her welded up. Alright, well, I got it all welded up and all ground down. There she is. Don't look too bad. Saved myself 300 bucks. It's a little, not pitty, but not totally smooth down here. But this is all buried. So, yeah, it came out pretty nice. A couple hours worth of work. Definitely worth it. Save 300 bucks for a driveline. Put that 300 bucks into something else. Maybe into that engine. Front suspension. That's what I need. Some new ball joints, tie rod ends, and all them goodies. A-arm bushings. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Alright, let's figure out something else to do. Top fuel. Gotta love them. Well, I've been working on this steering column, trying to get it figured out. That's the next part, probably. So I got my seat mocked up in there. Got my new steering wheel in here. I just taped her all up. Knowing me, I'd put a big nick in it, but I don't want to mess it up. So I covered it with tape. And you can see it's pretty close up into your lap. These old trucks were bad for that. Even the Tri-5 Chevy had that big 18-inch steering wheel, I believe it was too. And they'd be rubbing your legs if you were a big guy, you know, sitting in there. So this steering column is going to be easy to shorten. I need to cut the end of it off there anyway. So I'm going to loosen up this column drop here and slide that steering wheel towards the dash and see how that is. And if that don't work, I got a big gap here, the stock gap. That's what they had back in the day, but it's about 1.5 inches. So if pushing that steering wheel just forward through that don't give me enough room, I think I'm gonna cut this steering column drop here and shorten it up and suck that column up to the dash more. And my steering column needs to be up like that anyway for my my U-joint to work better. So we're gonna take that steering column out, or probably take the blinker off of there. It's just on there with some zip ties, and slide it down in there and sit in here and see how it is. Alright, we'll see what we figure out. Got to make it better than this. Alright, well, I've been working on the steering column. I think I got the wheel right where I want it, the best I can. I moved it up about 1.5 inches. Pulled that drop column piece off of there. I'll have to modify that. And I pushed it towards the firewall about 4 inches. So now I got plenty of room for my legs coming in here. Right here I got plenty of room. I ain't gonna rub like it was pretty close before. So yeah, it's gonna fit pretty good, I think. So I'll have to rebuild that or modify this column drop. I'll just cut it and measure it, get my right measurement and cut it off, and then weld that back onto there probably. I might use that firewall plate here. It's a 2-piece. It'd be easier to put in. I'll just have to probably cut the top of this more. Probably make a new one of these guys here. That's how that went. Screw it on there. Then I can bolt my my clamp on the outside of the firewall, my Tri-5 Chevy clamp. I got a straight edge out here on my my steering shaft. There, to find the angle. You don't want to go past 35 degrees is max on those steering knuckles. I ordered a couple Borgson ones. Some good quality ones. You don't want to run them Chinese ones. The ones for 35 bucks. They could snap on you. I've heard of stories of guys breaking them. But I'm right around, damn light. I'm right around 25 degrees, 24 degrees on my angle for my U-joint. So that's killer. Could go another 10, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm about 5 degrees off for being straight, so that's no big deal. So my knuckles will be coming, my steering knuckles will be coming soon. So I'm gonna cut this steering column here somewhere, and then I gotta cut that shaft. I got the shaft inside there a little bit longer. I did take that whole steering shaft out of there, and I greased that upper bearing a little bit better. I did pull out all the wiring. for the old blinker switch and pulled out all the switch mechanism. A little bit of weight reduction. Don't need that stuff in there. So I got the aftermarket old school hot rod blinker switch that goes on the column. So yeah, I think it's all going to work. So we'll start modifying that column drop. Next step, I guess. All right. Well, I got that steering column drop mocked up on a same size piece of pipe as my steering column. And I just cut it in half there. And I was going to just butt weld it, you know, an inch shorter, but this thing has failed before. You can see someone has welded it up in there. So it must have a lot of stress turning that big wheel on that old truck with the old front end probably. So I opened up that center for the wiring. I think I'm just going to overlap it like that. Then I can get a nice weld across the face of it. And you won't be able to see this hardly at all. And then I'll be able to weld the inside of it and just make her super strong. So I think that'll be a lot better. I opened the hole there so my blinker wiring can go through it, go through that hole. Yeah, I think it's going to be just fine. I'm going to get her welded up. Alright, I got my steering column drop welded up. Got it welded all the way around. And on the inside, just welded the hell out of it. It's had a bunch of beads in here anyway from where it was repaired. So that's super strong now. And this floor pan piece, shit canning that. I made a new one here. Got all the holes drilled to bolt to the floorboard. I might put a few more holes in it. We'll see, some more bolts. Got the hole for my brake pedal shaft. Might have to enlarge that. Here for my steering column, I put a piece of vacuum tube around here. Just split it on the outside and made a grommet. Keep the weather out. This piece of pipe here is the same size as my steering column. So it'll be nice and tight for the weather. So that's cool. On this piece here, it has this felt gasket where the brake pedal comes up through. So I think I'm going to order one of these, and I'll make a piece like here and weld it on the outside probably to hold that that felt piece to keep the weather out. Got to order that. I did find my other Tri-5 steering column clamp. That's just like on my 55 over there. I believe 55 through 57 probably uses the same clamp. I was missing the plate here, so I made that. So this will be the outside. Actually, goes this way. Then the steering column will come through there, and I'll drill a couple holes, and then sandwich that, and that's what holds the steering column from going in and out. So that'll be super strong. It'll hold that. So I just got to mock it all up now and figure out where to chop my steering column and chop that shaft and get that bearing in there. And then I got a cool collar to fit on that shaft to keep it from sliding out. The steering wheel keeps it from sliding down. All right, well, we'll get this mocked up and see how everything's going to fit. Well, I got that steering column all mocked up. Yeah, it looks pretty cool in there. The white steering wheel. So I got plenty of room now to get in there, and I had plenty of room. So I got the steering column drop all bolted up. I got 1/8 of an inch from it hitting my dash. I got that nice little hole for my blinker wire to go through. Got my new firewall piece made up and all bolted on there. I might put a couple more bolts. When I take it off, I got to trim it just a little bit here. It's hitting this corner of the, this is the inner fender bracket mount. So I got to trim that a little bit. Got one recessed spot over here and one here. I might try to smack this down or seam seal it. I don't want to bend this all up if I start smacking on it though. But we'll probably add some more bolts. But She's super strong in there right now, so that's cool. That steering column ain't going nowhere side to side. And on the front here, it's all bolted. There's that recess piece on the inside. I got to do something with that, but I got that Tri-5 Chevy clamp on there mounted, so I got to drill a couple holes there so I can sandwich that and tighten it up, so that'll make it bomb-proof. Then that steering column can't pull up or pull down or go anywhere. She's nice and stout once I get that bolted up. But now I got to figure out where to cut this the steering column shaft and insert that bearing in there, and weld a couple nuts on there and some set bolts to hold that bearing in there. Then I got a nice little collar to put on the shaft after I cut the shaft, and make that double D end on it. But yeah, she's coming together pretty good. But we'll show that in the next video. This one's getting along again, guys. We appreciate you watching. I really do. You guys take care. We'll see you next time.